Hello everybody and welcome to the Primary Wizard stream, and we're going to pick up today where we were yesterday, where we were making a scratch game all about a flying unicorn. So yesterday we made a cloud that came across the screen at a random time and a random height, and you had to try and avoid it, and if you didn't you went to a game over screen. And then right at the end we were looking at some movement tech. We were looking at actually how does the control of the unicorn's movement happen. And we were working, we did it so it did, changed it on the X axis, but we're actually going to change the way we do it. And what we did is instead of we were going jump by 10, we said we're going to jump by 1 10 times, and it made it a lot smoother. And then just as I was closing the stream, we had a suggestion saying, what if it just kept checking to see if that button was being pressed? So what I did at the end of the stream is I had a bit of a tinker. Hey Finn, thank you for joining us, and I've come up with two different systems of movement. So that's the one I showed you on the stream, this one here. So when the D key is pressed, we can see that our unicorn friend moves to the right. But if I hold it down, it only does it periodically. But if I do left, we can see that I've got this smooth transition. You see, it keeps moving left, keeps even though I'm holding it down. And so if I do that with right, let's see what happens. So if I hold down D, it's moved once, but then it stopped. Okay, so I'm holding down D, it moves 1 step of 10 and then stops. So what we could do is I could actually have this algorithm here on both sides. So if you hold it down, it moves you smoothly across the screen. Okay. Let's actually have a look at what's going on in that algorithm. So when the game starts, I'm going to ask it to forever check if that button's being pressed or if the A key is being pressed. And so if that key is being pressed, it's going to do my movement of repeating -1 10 times. So I'm going to replicate that on the other side. So instead of when the D key is pressed, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get the sensing block. And then I'm going to have it when the D key, remember, D, yep, okay, so if the D key is being pressed, then I want it to do the movement change X by 1 10 times, but I need to put that inside a forever loop, which is just here, and I need a when the game starts. Awesome, right, so let's just test that out now, let's make sure that's working. So flying away, and I can move to the left, and that's nice and smooth, and then I can move to the right, and that's nice and smooth as well. Awesome, so now I've got sort of smooth direction, and I can just hold down the buttons and it'll move left or right. Okay, I'm really bouncing off that top there. I'm gonna reduce the bounce. I think it's too much bounce. Where's my bit of code for bouncing? So if my Y position is higher than 130, set gravity to -10. Yeah, that's way too much of a bounce. Let's go for -7. Let's try that. Okay, I'm going to stick with -7 for now. We'll try it as we go along. Okay, so I like the idea of shooting stars to pop the clouds. We could maybe have a go at that at some point during the week. What I'd like to do today is put some collectibles in, so we can collect some coins, maybe, or some rainbows. Oh, we can collect some rainbows. That's pretty good. Hey Alex, thanks for joining. Hello Isaac. Thanks for joining in, guys. Hope you're following along. Okay, so let's make a new sprite. I wonder if there's a rainbow in this already. There is. Of course there is. Cool, so we've got a rainbow sprite. So what we can do is we want it to do lots of the things that the cloud already does. So instead of rewriting all that code, let's go and borrow our hard work that we've already done. So if I want it to appear, at some point randomly on the right hand side, which is what this block's doing. I want it to show and then move across the screen and then hide. So I'm going to copy all of that code and just see if it works out of the box. I don't want this code because that's my game over code, and I don't want my rainbow to be a game over. I want it to be a collectible. And when I receive game over, I want you to hide. Yes, I do. Okay. So those 2 bits of code. So I've got those 2 bits of code. Let's just see if out of the box they're going to work. That'd be cool if they did. There's a rainbow and there's a thundercloud. Awesome. Okay, let's see if I can survive a bit longer. Keep testing it. I want to see the rainbow get to the other end, don't I? Oh, thundercloud first this time, and then a rainbow. Okay. That was pretty good. I'm trying to see another one, see if what happens when it gets to the left-hand side of the screen. They came at the same time then. I wonder if that's going to be an issue. Are they going to appear? Nope, they don't appear at the same time. That's alright then. Okay, cool. That's pretty good. Now I've got to make it collectible because you'll have seen the last one that I saw, I didn't actually manage to collect it. It just goes straight through me. So let's make it collectible. So this is going to be another sensing issue. So I'm going to have to look at when they collide. So when the rainbow is touching the unicorn. Unicorn running, that's what it's called. So we're going to have another if because we're checking something. And we don't want it just to check at the start of the game, we want it to check all the time, so we're going to make that forever loop. So when the game starts forever, if touching the running unicorn. Now what I want it to do is when they touch, I'd like it to disappear and then our score to go up. So I'm going to have to do 2 things. I'm going to have to make it hide and I'm going to have to make a score. So let's go to looks because that's where hide is. So if we're touching hide, but before we do that, I want a variable that's going to be a score. Okay, yep, name my variable score. When the game starts, we're going to set the score to 0. And when you hit a rainbow, we're going to make the score go up by 1. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if those collectibles will work. So I can see my score, it's on 0. Let's hope I can survive long enough to collect something. Oh, there's one. Oh, what happened there? I collected it, it disappeared, but I didn't get a score. Let's try and collect another one. Oh, my score's not going up. Have I made the mistake of not changing the variable? Yes, I put gravity by 1. Silly Mr. Meredith. Right, there we go. Change score by 1. That should be a bit more successful now. Here we go. There we go. Score's gone by 1. Oh, I missed that one. Not very good. This one. Let's go and get it. Oh, get out of the way. Oh, nearly got there. Okay. Right. This is working well. Let's just try and get a game over so I can see the complete cycle, see it works. Everything's just been brilliant. Okay. Fantastic. Right. So, next thing I wanted to talk about then was thinking about our backgrounds and getting it so it changes backgrounds over time. Although actually I wonder whether we could do it linked to the score, so you've got to get so many rainbows before it will change to the next setting. I think that might be quite a cool way of doing it. And actually there's some quite interesting algorithms that will come with that. So, now obviously guys, you could change it to whatever you wanted it to be. So it hasn't got to be a unicorn, it hasn't got to be thunderclouds and rainbows, the code would remain the same. You just change what the sprite looks like. So this is my version. You guys can remix it and make your own versions, that's absolutely fine. You definitely haven't got to copy my terrible artwork if I have to draw something, as I might be about to in a minute. So let's have a look at another backdrop first. So let's see what other backdrops they've got that I might be able to use. Oh, we could go to the seaside, we could go to the boardwalk. I want to go to the city. Yes, that's what I had in mind. Although maybe a castle would work really well with my theme. We can use both. I'm going to start with the city. Okay, so now I've got on my backdrops 2 costumes. Well, 3 actually. I've got backdrop 1, and then I've got city with water. I'm just going to change the name of that to City because it's easier for you to see. And I'm going to change this one to Sky. Okay, so I've got 3 backdrops, but no code on any of my backdrops at the moment. So we know that when I click Go, it changes back. No, it doesn't change back. So that's the first thing we're going to need to do. Is when you click Go, we're going to change the looks by changing the backdrop to Sky. So that's the one we made at the start, isn't it? Okay. Then what should we say? Should we say 5? Is 5 yeah, I think 5 is a reasonable score. So if you get 5, then we're going to try and change the backdrop to the next backdrop. Oh no. Let's get some code going for that. So what I want the computer to do is check the score, and if the score goes over 5, then we'll change the backdrop. There was definitely an if in there, definitely an if. So if, and there was definitely a score, and we said if it was going to go over 5, so we're going to use one of our maths operators. So we're going to say if it's larger than 4. So when you collect the 5th one, it will be larger than 4, and so it will change. So if the score is larger than 4, then no. This will work for now. It might get more complicated as we add more backgrounds in. So switch backdrop to City. And I need a forever loop so it doesn't just check it at the start. Okay, let's give that a go. See if my code is going to work. So what I want to do, I want to test 2 things here. I want to get 5 points and see if it changes to the backdrop City. But I want to see what happens if I lose. What happens if I lose on the City backdrop? Does it still bring game over in? Because I'm not sure. That will still work. So I've got a score of 3 so far. I am very slowly becoming a pro at my own game here. Here we go. 1 to go. Try and avoid looking foolish now and avoid the thundercloud. There's the rainbow. Right, City's come along. Brilliant. I should be able to get them. Now if I lose, dodge that one. If I get another rainbow, nothing should happen. Well, my score should go up. But if I get the thundercloud, no, my game over didn't work. I was a bit worried that might be the case. So the reason that's happening is it's continuing to check if the score is 4. And when it's checking that, it keeps changing the backdrop to City. So what can I do to stop it checking for City when the game stops? The first thing I'm going to look at is the code that stops the game. So it should broadcast game over, switch to backdrop game over, and stop all. But it didn't. No, it didn't because it changed back almost instantly to the City because I'd asked it to check. Okay, so let's try looking at the code on the backdrop for a moment. I wonder if I need to combine this algorithm with the algorithm I've already started. So I could say, put it in there. Should we give that a go? I'm going to give that a go. So let's drop that onto the lightning and go and grab it. It's over here. What if I put it there? Will that make a difference? Don't know. Let's try it. It might do. It might see this first. So I'm going to have to get to City first. There we go. Right. Well, let's try and collect that one. Or just cut it. get that one. And that one. Getting lots of rainbows here. Getting ready for the next one. There it is. Collect it. Missed it. Missed it. There we go. Right, okay, so now I want to lose and see if it stops and changes the backdrop to game over. Perhaps what I could do then is, instead of saying forever, or actually let's just try this. I'm going to put a wait in. So I'm going to put a delay in here of just a second, just to see what happens there. See if I put a delay in, will the stop all stop it from changing back to city? That's what I want to know. So rainbow number 1. Oh, that's a risky one to get. Dear me, that wasn't good. Well, my game over screen still works. Rainbow number 1, yes. Okay, rainbow number 2. Oh, right, guys, I'm gonna do a little bit of dev work here because I'm just going to change the score down to I've only got to get 1 rainbow. So this is my my little dev door that I've made here that I can test the games. This is my testing code. So let's get a score of 1. Oh, I need to score 2, of course. Oh. Well, that wasn't very good at all. Let's test it again. I think I might have uncovered a small problem, which is even if you die a second later, it will change the backdrop. Struggling to score 2 now, guys. Lost my magic touch. Out the way of the lightning. Another one. Now I'm dodging rainbows. Gosh. Okay. It was too hard for me. Right, let's go even more easy mode. Right, I've only got to get 1 rainbow. Just 1 rainbow. Can I do it? Oh, I missed the first one. Missed the cloud as well. Yes, okay. Keep my eyes open. Right. So now it's changed to the city. Can I... Yes. Okay, cool. That worked because everything stopped before it had a chance to check the score again. So what about if I put in a 0.2 wait, so if I can minimize that wait period? How small can I make it that it'll still work and still go to the game over screen? So collect that one, change it to city, collect that. Game over still works. Right, let's try 0.1. Let's see how close we can get this while the code still works. Ooh. Come on, Rainbow, where are you? At the top. Okay, now let's try and get the game over screen. Oh, I completely forgot to try and get the cloud there. Perfect. Okay, I'm really happy with that 0.1. That works really well. Right. So let's think. Do I have time? Let's try and sneak 1 more backdrop in. This could get complicated. The code could get a little bit trickier here. But I reckon I can sneak 1 more backdrop in before we've got to go. So I'm going to go. What was the other one I wanted? I wanted castle, didn't I? I'm going to go to the castle. So building on this algorithm, right, I'm going to say if you score more than 5, then, or more than 4, wasn't it? More than 4, then it goes to city. But I'm going to put in another if. So I'm actually going to duplicate that bit of code, slide it in underneath, and say if the score is more than 9, then I want it to be castle. Now, this is going to cause a problem because a number like 10, for example, is both more than 4 and more than 9. So both of these are true at the same time. And I'm not quite sure what the computer would decide to do in this case. But I do know that I can fix it before I come across that problem, because I can get an AND block. And what I can do is I can say, right, if the score is less than 10, but more than 4. So if it's more than 4 but less than 10, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If it's any of those scores, it will be the city, and then if it's more than 9, it will be the castle. Okay, this is going to require me to score more than 10. So we could be a while here. Let's try. Okay, let's get to the left-hand side of the screen. Missed that first one already. It's too fast for me. Okay, missed that one as well. That's good news. Rainbow. Yes, scored 1. Okay. Come on. Thundercloud. Missed that one. Rainbow. Yes, come here. Oh, I ran into it. Right, try again. Oof. And he just dodged. Yes, okay, rainbow. We're 1/10 of the way there, guys. And I missed it. Never mind. Another one coming. Yes, okay. Good, that was quick. So I really should turn my gravity number off. I'll do that later. Right, 3. Almost 1/3 of the way. Rainbow, yes. Oh, disaster. Disaster. One last go and then I'll do my my dev door. Do a bit of cheating. I think the strategy might be stay low and then try and dodge from there. Okay, 4 down. We're back to where we were. Come on, Mr. M, you can do this. Rainbow, come on, get the rainbow. Oh, missed it. Come on. Oh, they're too close. I'm not risking that. Come on, need 1 more to get to the city. There's what? No, I'm straight away got caught out. Okay, right. Let's just change the numbers then. So let's say if it's greater than 0 but less than 1, and if it's more than 1, no, I want 2 there. And if it's more than 1, then we'll go to castle. So I should only need to get a few to make this work. Let's just say we can at least test it. So city, yes. Okay. Do I need another one for castle? Yes, I do. Okay, let's just test the game over screen if it still works. Yes, it does. Okay, awesome, guys. So you could carry on adding as many backdrops as you wanted. You just need to keep making these ranges and make sure that they make sense. So I want this to be more than 4, less than 10. I want it to be challenging. And if it's more than 9. Okay, brilliant. Last thing I'm going to do today then is I'm going to take the gravity and I'm going to make it not visible. So we've just got our score. Fantastic, guys. Right, so last thing for today would be to test it out, change our score. So I think I'm really happy with where we're at. So we've got 1 more day this week. I want to continue this game on. So any suggestions you've got, I'd love to hear what we could do with it. I'll have a think what else we could do with the game. I've had the idea that we could maybe fire out something that destroys the thunderclouds. So that would be quite a cool one to give a go. But if you've joined in and you're following along, thank you very much. If this is the first time you've seen it, all the other videos are still up on the channel, so you can have a look at those. But thank you very much everyone for joining in. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all again soon. Look after yourselves, guys. Bye.